Good morning, Father Markus. Thank you for welcoming here. And yes, as you know, we as Religious for Peace Italia are involved in a European project on protection of place of worship, so-called Protone, harmonizing diversity, where people of different faith tradition work together in order to create an environment where better relations between traditions and communities can prevent hostility and attack to place of worship and to believers. Mm-hmm. As you remember, we were here at the Dicastero, 2 weeks ago, with also the colleagues of other partners organization, because we have partners of different countries here in Europe involved in the project. And yes, what do you think about the role of interreligious dialogue and cooperation in prevention of attacks to place of worships and to believers?
Thank you very much for the invitation to be with you and to share most things regarding interreligious dialogue and importance of the protection of place of worship. I still remember the beautiful moments we had a few days ago with your group. I personally, and I'm sure that all my colleagues here, they will appreciate very much the initiative you have to tackle with this issue. As you know, the religious freedom and the protection of the worship houses, these are important issues also in our activities of the promotion of interreligious dialogue. We still face different challenges and difficulties in this regard, and therefore we appreciate very much that you raise your voice or you start this initiative to create or mobilize the awareness, public awareness, in order to respect the worship of places of worship of people of different religions. And it is, I can assure you, that's part of interreligious dialogue for peace and harmony. As you see that in the promotion of interreligious dialogue, we don't deal in first line with the buildings, whatever, but we deal first of all with human beings created by God. And as human beings, they have also the human dignity. And as such, they have also the fundamental rights in living their religions and faith, in performing their religious rites peacefully. And therefore, if you see that people still face difficulties in worshiping, in praying in their respective house of prayer, then it is really a big challenge, and it is hurting. I can tell you so many examples, but I take my country as an example. Says Indonesia as the country with the biggest Muslim population in the world. Challenges regarding worship places, they are in daily basis. Unfortunately, sometimes the Christians, mostly, they face the difficulties that they cannot pray peacefully because they will be expelled by religious groups from other religions, and they prohibit them not to pray even in their own church. And worse is if they pray in the houses of faithful, and if they start to sing, then various religious groups, they come and they will expel them and force them to stop. Or there have been repeatedly conflicts, horizontal conflicts between Christians and people of other religions because of that. And unfortunately, at a certain point, you realize that actually you live a wrong tolerance, because you have to pay people in order that they protect you. I'm telling you this because we have a tradition in my country that if Christians celebrate Christmas or Easter in their churches, then they have to invite Muslim young people in order to protect their churches during they pray. And as you know, it is not healthy at all living in a rural society in this situation. And but as you know, some tiny minority, the Christians cannot do accepting the reality as such. And the initiative you took, you are still struggling for that. I really appreciate it. We would like to guarantee or safeguard the right of every citizen, no matter which religion this person has, but it is really part of human dignity of human being granted by God Himself with the fundamental rights.
Thank you so much for this consideration you made for the the testimony of cases you know from your country, from Indonesia. Yes, in this respect, it's important to react also in a constructive way to ameliorate the relations between different traditions. And yes, as you know, also at the end of our project Protone, we built an interfaith council for peace and security in order to have this important support from religious leaders of different traditions who within their communities can give attention and create an attention toward this kind of problems, because of course there is a role of the public institution, of the police, etc., in order to defend security, but this couldn't be enough. And also the official of this institution, they tell us that this is not enough if there is not a prevention and we have not better relations between religions. So yes, it's important. I hope we can cooperate also in the future with this interfaith council, where the intention is to give a continuity in how to say, in give a survey on what is happening, especially in Europe. But as you were saying, these are a problem also very critical in other parts of the world.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you. As you mentioned Europe as the place of the problem, well, I just would like to bring one aspect to the consideration, particularly in the world of Europe, where the Christianity is declining, let us say, and there are so many churches existing in this continent, in every country. So we can also think of the future that many churches will stay empty and they will be abandoned and they will be given for other purposes. And it could happen, and this happened already, that other religious communities will buy the abandoned churches, the empty churches. And in this regard, it is important to remind each and every one of the sincerity of the intention of doing such an activity. The intention is very important. What they are going to do with the places of worship after buying them. if it will be used for religious purposes, but in first occasion they will give another reason, then it is really hurting. It will be not very fair, and therefore, if we would like to live peacefully in the plurality where everybody respects the plurality and diversity, then people must be sincere in their intention. And unfortunately, I heard that in many places, some places, it happened already that the churches were converted to another worship house, and it is disturbing for religious feelings of people. Well, it is also one of the concerns for the future interreligious living together.
Thank you for underlying this kind of challenge, which is very, very harsh also for the future, and we should be active on this regard, and yes, to consider the aggressive potentiality of this misuse of place of worship who are changing. Unfortunately, we know also in some country there was some forcing at St. Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, forcing from the previous situation, which was better in a laic perspective, and then yes, this was indeed a reason of conflict, of tensions, and we hope we can avoid this kind of situation. Yes.
And in our case, working for interreligious dialogue for peace and harmony, respecting the rights and dignity of every person, it requires even more the collaboration.
Yes, indeed.
We collaborate in our principle, working with the Catholic Church for peace and harmony. We always say we work together with people of different religions, but also with people of goodwill.
Yes.
So we have to also to include those who have goodwill for peace and harmony. And we cannot go alone.
Yeah, exactly. We cannot create paradoxically a kind of multi-religious sectarianism.
Yes,
towards the idea.
exactly.
And sometimes also people who don't recognize themselves in the religious, either are not against religions, and sometimes they are the guarantee for a pluralism that we have also in many places of Europe. So yes, this is so important for the future.
Yeah, but as you know, we work with people of goodwill, those who have religions or those who don't have religions. Well, then we have to define the interreligious dialogue in a new way with people who have religions. Surely it is required the religious identity to be shown up in order that we can enrich each other from spiritual perspectives. But with those who don't have religion, then we have to work on the goodwill, on their will for the good of the society.
Yes, and then the common human values and human rights.
Yes, exactly. You are right, because we always say that before we promote interreligious dialogue, actually there has been a common ground, that is human experience, the humanity, and therefore we have also to include those who don't have religions in this project of interreligious dialogue for beauty and peace.
One of the purpose of interreligious dialogue is also to overcome a kind of bad pride of our tradition, to love our tradition, but avoid this sense of supremacy. And we think that interreligious dialogue is an antidote to this kind of, which create hostility. And there is more important also with people who have other, as human, they have other kind of spiritual level, because spirituality is is a part of the human being. So
you are right. I would like to underline what we have mentioned before. Actually, you are talking about one of the severe or big challenges of interreligious dialogue. That is feeling superior towards others, no, or supremacy towards others. And this mentality creates exclusivity, and the exclusivity is actually counterproductive to interreligious dialogue of peace and harmony. And therefore, we have to create this climate of openness. And so remember, Pope Francis and the popes before, they always underline the opening mentality or the mentality of inclusiveness. No, including people who are different from us, because as you know, and we reiterate always, differences are not source of divisions, but source of richness.
a positive challenge for diversity.
Positive challenge. As we know each other already for many years, as we are different, but I think we enrich each other over years now.
Yes.
Well, it is not only that because we have the same religion, but we have different cultures and etc. But it's always interesting to meet each other and to enrich each other, and this is the beauty of the diversity.
Yes. This is a living life.
Living a real life with all the challenges.
Yes.
Yes, actually, it's very interesting talking about this issue, and I appreciate very much that you are taking initiative with your friends, no, in order to tackle with this issue, protecting the worship places of people of different religions. This will become more important in the future, as first of all, the society will become more secular. And second thing, the society will become more plural.
Yes.
And therefore, this is a very important issue.
And our role is to appreciate the good aspect of a secular society and prevent secularism as other new kind of intolerance towards diversity.
Yeah. At the center of everything is actually the respect. Respect towards the reality of society, no matter how secular it is or how religious it is, but respect, it is at the center of everything.
Yeah, and for us, people of faith, the human dignity that you underline, yes, is a consequence of our faith and our background. You see, in Judaism, in Christianity, and also in Islam, we say this. We have this concept of not triviality of human being. It said in our scripture, imagine a similarity to the divine.
Divine, yeah, to God. God created human being according to His image, and it is our firm conviction, firm faith, and from this, the human rights, human dignity is derived.
Yes, not because we are more generous, but because we derive from this. So it becomes spiritual commitment and the duty.
And we Catholics, we are very happy that the Second Vatican Council has brought out a particular document to underline the importance of human dignity. That is Dignitas Humana. And that is actually, and with together with Nostra Aetate document, these are our, our ground, our basis, our orientation, and our future.
Yes, for them. This is fundamental for freedom of religion, of thought, and of conscience. And we hope to spread this kind of openness, but also I would say responsibility.
Yes.
For the Lord.
This is a very important word too. Respect, openness, and responsibility. If there is no sense of responsibility, then everybody will do whatever he or she wants, and it will not work.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes. If you want to tell us something about your experience in your country in Indonesia, where you were so close to Pope Francis during his visiting in the country, and especially this event linked to this tunnel of friendship between different place of worship. So important.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my experience when I accompanied the Holy Father last September to my country, Indonesia. So it was a very particular moment in my life. First, well, I have made some translations for the Holy Father in the Vatican, but being with him on the way for a very long trip, visiting 4 countries at the same time,
Yes.
it was the first time in my life. And well, I was well prepared. And then, even though my country didn't know that I will come with the Holy Father, only my family, and therefore it was a very big surprise for the country when I appeared with the Holy Father coming down from the airplane. So everybody was asking, and well, a big joy actually for the country. But the most important thing is the meaning of this visit in the context of interreligious dialogue for peace and harmony for the country. And I was very happy that the program of interreligious dialogue was really at the heart of the whole programs of the visit. So already on the second day, the first day was dedicated to the local authority, the government. It is clear. And the second day was dedicated already to the religions, to interreligious matters, interreligious meetings with the high-level interreligious representatives in my country. And well, we were able to do 2 things which were, to my mind, quite extraordinary. The first thing was the signing of a joint declaration between the Holy See, represented by the Holy Father, and Indonesia, represented by the Grand Imam of Istiqlal Mosque in Jakarta. But let us better say a joint declaration between the Holy See and the Islamic community of Indonesia. But with the presence of representatives of every religion, and it was really very, very, very well prepared. And the document was really very important, containing 2 fundamental points. The first point is the this common struggle to fight against the dehumanization, which is expressed in various forms. And the second point is the common struggle to combat the climate crisis. And this should be done for Indonesia in the spirit of Pancasila. Pancasila, as you know, that is our philosophy of the state, the basis, a philosophical basis of our country with 5 points. And we are really happy to have such a document. And now the country is trying to work out, to follow up the document in order to put into practice. But the second big issue is the inauguration of the tunnel on the ground of the Istiqlal Mosque, which has never been before. You can imagine that Pope is coming with the holy water to the compound of the Muslims and giving his blessings on the tunnel. As you know, it is for many Muslims, it was a very big surprise. But then, the presence of Pope himself and the words of him, the testimony of his life, they make them calm. So they make them, that's made them accept the initiative what Pope is doing. And I was as translator, always beside him. I never had a second to think about any attack of us. Nothing. Although, it is a big risk actually, being in a big crowd like this, and Pope was actually protected, but also not protected at the same time. But in such a situation, it was really, let us say, a pleasure to be with the religious leaders, with the Muslims, and Pope was doing such a very particular Catholic rites on the compound of Muslims. And then after that, it was announced that the tunnel, the one, or this is the only tunnel in the whole world that relates the Cathedral of Jakarta and the Istiqlal Mosque, the biggest Muslims mosque in Indonesia and in Asia, has been now related.
A way of
There is an underway between the cathedral and the mosque.
Yeah. Is that and encouraging this?
Encouraging. It is a very big symbol actually that I would like to say about many, many, many things. But Pope Francis, he interpreted this tunnel in 2 ways. He said that first of all, there are so many kinds of tunnel in our life. Tunnel of trafficking, tunnel of war, of those, terrorism, etc. But this tunnel is a tunnel of friendship.
Fantastic.
Of Christians and Muslims and people of other religions. And each of us has to become the light for others.
In the dark of the tunnel.
And the second interpretation is wonderful, that in interreligious dialogue, in living together, we cannot stay only in superficiality. We have to go down to the depth.
Another metaphor.
Yeah. We have to go down to the real meaning of living together, of our teaching, which actually is saying those who believe cannot separate themselves from others. They will always need others. And this is actually the meaning of the tunnel.
Yes, a fantastic message, which has an importance worldwide perspective.
Exactly. So I hope that you will visit the tunnel one day.
With you.
You are always welcome. And with your friends of Religions for Peace as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your so important insight and precious testimony of your experience, this fresh experience in Indonesia.
Thank you very much for the invitation. See you next time.